Hello and welcome to Two Guys, Many Bad Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron.
And I'm your other host, Paul.
And, yeah, go on.
Alright, and and this is a podcast about reviewing bad movies, which you've probably heard of before. But unlike other certain critics where they just scream at a camera for 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about movies in a more chill, relaxed tone.
Well, it's going to be energetic, but it is going to be energetic, but it's not going to be the kind of thing where, you know, we're going to be screaming, like, constantly getting excessively angry, I think.
Yeah, we're not going to be, like, breaking your we're not going to be breaking your ears with our screaming or voices, or at least I hope not.
Well, I might, but that's just the way I normally speak.
Yeah, that's just Aaron for you.
That's just me for you. Yeah. So, today, we're going to look at, essentially, the first movie we're going to look at is a movie that I guarantee you have never heard of. Well, I almost guarantee it. It's called Maradonia, The Shadow Empire.
Now, that title sounds like something from a second-rate JRPG.
Does it actually?
Yes, it does. It sounds like something that Square Enix would shit out as an indie title.
Maradonia, The Shadow Empire. In between Final Fantasy 13-4 and Final Fantasy 13-5.
Oh god.
Lightning returns again.
And then the fifth game is just Lightning returns for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I gotta think. The sort of issue with this particular movie, and we're gonna have to give you some background because
of course.
It's fucking...
Of course. I've seen this movie twice and I still don't know what happens in it.
Yeah, it is... The origin of this movie is it originated from a terrible fantasy novel that was written by Gloria Tesh. Supposedly, sorry, maybe I'm being a bit loud here, but supposedly she wrote this. She's the world's youngest novelist. Of course, that's a load of bullshit.
Yeah, I somehow find that hard to believe.
She was 12 when the first book was quote unquote published, but it was vanity published, so it was self-published. It wasn't picked up by an actual...
Yeah, it wasn't backed by like an actual book for publishing firm.
Yeah, which meant that it cost a lot of money for them to print stuff, and they had to get the sales, but it didn't work out the way it was intended.
Yeah, how many books are in this series?
Like it's like 5 or 6.
No, that's surprising.
The problem is all the books have ridiculously large font. So even though they look like they're 800 pages, they're only about 50 to 60,000 words each, which is fine if you want to write. That is a novel, like that is technically a novel.
That's fine, but if your book somehow gets adapted into a movie, maybe don't brag about how there's over 3,000 pages into it.
Oh yeah, because they do that right at the beginning of the film. They brag about how there's like.
Yeah,
do they actually say 3,000 pages of brimming adventure in the intro?
Yeah, and other shit, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
So this is the movie adaptation of essentially a terrible fantasy novel that was written
by quote-unquote a 12-year-old.
By a 12-year-old. We're not going to talk about the novel here. If you want to talk about the novel, look up the podcast Terrible Book Club. They have an episode. They have actually an episode on the first 3 books. They have one on each.
Not sponsored, by the way.
We're not sponsored. We're just giving them a shout out straight away because if you want to listen to like how terrible the novel is, just listen to them.
Yeah, we're just strictly movie territory here.
But yeah, they adapted it into a movie, which apparently it was directed by her father.
Yep, Jerry Tesh.
Jerry Tesh, and as if that wasn't enough in terms of nepotism.
Oh boy, it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Tell us more.
Guess who plays the lead role? The author herself, Gloria Tesh, plays the lead role of Maya, the main protagonist.
Yes, and how old are the protagonists supposed to be again?
Well, they're supposed to be like 13, 14, 15, that sort of age range.
Yeah, but when you watch the movie, you go, oh, this is just like, they're 20-year-olds. This is like some Power Rangers shit here.
Yeah, they're like 20-year-olds, and there's actually... We're getting ahead of ourselves, but there's a scene where they're at a party. We won't get into that straight away.
We'll get to it later.
You see, one of the issues with this movie is that it looks, if you actually go and watch it, it looks like it was made... It looks like it has a lower budget than Birdemic.
Yeah.
It genuinely looks like...
It looks so cheap and fan-made.
Like, it really does. And yet, apparently, has a $600,000 to like $1 million budget.
That just blows my mind thinking about it because I've done a college course doing film editing and video editing, and some of the effects are so basic that I could recreate them myself.
Yeah, and there's tons of stock footage as well.
Yeah, I imagine that the stock footage ate up through most of the budget.
Well, yeah, they probably did. They probably spent so much. They probably bought the entire website like that they
Probably
sold it from.
Yeah,
It's absolutely ridiculous. So shall we get into the breakdown? Shall we get into the breakdown of the actual movie itself?
Should we?
Oh yeah, we should.
Right.
So the film opens up with a trailer for the film.
Yeah, that's a great way.
That's how you open up a movie. You open it with the trailer for the movie that you're watching.
Yeah, just so you know what you're getting into.
You know how when you go to see Joker, you see the trailer for Joker before watching Joker?
Yeah, you get to see him. You get to see him kill a guy. You see him do the funny dance down the stairs. You know, it gets you all excited.
You see that TikTok of Indian Joker where he does that face.
Oh God, I don't know about that one.
You don't know about that one? Jeez.
No, I'm discovering a lot today.
Oh, look up Indian Joker.
Maybe later.
It's absolutely nuts. So here we have in this intro here, which is again, it's a trailer for the actual film. We have everything from stock footage to 3,000-page superiming adventure. It's an advert for the film you're about to watch.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing, and you know they say over 3,000 pages, all of which I'm sure is just riveting.
Yeah,
glorious.
And not only that, but then we see all the different terms that are used. You know, it's a tour de force
of action, which is just the funniest shit to me. Why would you ever say your movie's like that?
Tour de force of action. Again, we're not riffing the trailer here.
Yeah.
We're riffing the movie. This is the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, could you imagine if like Michael Bay called Transformers a tour de force of action?
Jesus.
Like, I don't hate that movie like everyone else does, but he would have gotten like so much shit for it.
Oh, God. It's like and it shows a bit where at one point it shows no return from the underworld.
Yeah, that's
but it's showing like it's detailing the plot like there's no return from the underworld. But what it does is it shows these three ladies who are in Halloween costumes as witches.
Oh yeah, the goth girls.
Like the goth girls are like in Halloween costumes, but they're there's like this cheap fire effect.
Yeah, it's something that I could recreate in Sony Vegas Pro.
And one of the stock footage includes the battle from the Holy Grail that actually didn't happen. They all got arrested at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. Also, the font.
Yeah, the font is like really basic and generic.
I mean, everybody gives Comic Sans shit. At least I know it's not Comic Sans.
Yeah.
It's not Comic Sans because
it just looks really bad.
It's like yellow.
Yeah, it's like yellow and ugly.
I don't know what they were thinking. Like the thing with fonts is, you gotta have a font that looks okay in your movie.
Yeah, that looks presentable, readable.
Like, there's just an ordinary font. It would have been better if it was just Times New Roman and it was, like, white on a black background or something.
That would at least look somewhat fancy.
Also, this whole thing is narrated.
Oh, God, the narrator. I almost forgot about this. The audio mixing is just horrendous. Like, it's a good thing they have the subtitles, because otherwise I wouldn't know what the hell is going on. It sounds like it was recorded with a Nokia phone from 2005.
No, it's not just that. It's that the music is so much louder than the dialogue.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. It's like the music is like so overpowering.
It's way too loud. At a certain point, he's talking about... it's all just exposition. So he's talking about...
info dump.
It's just a massive info dump, which is fine. You can do that if you really want to. I mean, Lord of the Rings does that.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings does that at the beginning. It's like, that's fine. You can do that. But... he's talking about nations at war with one another.
Yeah, it just kind of flew over my head because I couldn't really understand what was going on.
Yeah, and as if that wasn't enough, then he starts talking about... the country is Rwanda, but because of the audio mixing, you just hear at a certain point, you're not even paying attention because you're just looking at the terrible stock footage. And you just hear over like this generic, decent but generic sort of orchestral fantasy music, at which point you just hear him go, "Destroyed Uganda. Destroyed Uganda."
Those bastards! How could they?
How could I? You destroyed Uganda? What did Uganda ever do to you?
Yeah, like, Jesus.
Uganda gave us Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Uganda gave us...
Okay, so I think it's important to note that the producers behind this movie were so confident in its success, they say part 1. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, they actually... I forgot about that. They actually say it's part 1.
yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie, because it's... I love it when movies are so... You know, they're so assured of their success. You know, like Doug's first movie, you know, yeah, it's been like, what, how many years? It's been like 2 decades?
Doug's first movie?
Yeah, it's based off the Nickelodeon show.
Doug's first movie.
Yeah, and never got another movie.
Never got another one. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one is never going to get another one.
Yeah.
It's never going to get another
I mean, it came out like 4 years ago at this point.
So, we see... Like, we're talking a lot about this fucking intro.
Yeah.
About, like, the Destroyed Uganda.
It's just, there's so much shit going on here.
Like, one of the quotes from the opening monologue is, "A flood of demonic spells."
Which sounds kind of cool, if you ask me.
And then we cut to, like, footage of this little boy.
Oh yeah, that part where, like, the boy is, like, holding this rabbit or some shit. And
He's not holding a rabbit, he's, like, holding his teddy bear.
Yeah, teddy
and
bear.
His parents are dead.
Yeah, and he's just, like...
A family picture!
Yeah, it's like, I was so confused, because, like, is this a kid's movie or not? Because, you know, I get that kids' movies can be kind of dark at some point, but to open a movie like that, having this little kid crying over his dead mother, it's just, it feels a bit wrong.
Yeah, and what's his name? Like, Adam Violaris or whatever, he's the one who composes it, the music. Right. Yeah, and you'll see later on that the movie, I swear he was like trying to build up his portfolio because he kept trying to add so many genres of music into it. Like, you think it's just going to be generic orchestral. No, he starts adding things like nursery rhyme music.
Oh, God.
Rock music, pop music, freaking... I think there's even... I think even reggae shows up at one point. Okay, I could be wrong about that.
I think you made that up.
Maybe I
okay,
did.
So what happens next?
What happens next in the movie is we get introduced to our leads.
Oh boy, our wonderful, lovable protagonists.
Yeah, Maya and Joey.
I forgot their names.
Maya and Joey, yeah, it's just generic names. Yeah. Except Maya is not a very generic name, but Joey is.
Joey.
I wonder who the Mary Sue is in this scenario, although I don't like necessarily using that term.
No, but I think it's perfectly valid here.
It is perfectly valid here because Maya is played by the author.
Yeah, you can't get much more self-insert than that.
That is the equivalent of having Suzanne Collins play Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah.
Like, that's the equivalent of actually having that in there. Which would be fucking weird, because I don't know how old Suzanne Collins is. But
yeah, I don't know, like mid-40s, but we're getting off topic.
Yeah. So, they're being chased by this LARPer.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of LARPers in this movie.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And the fucking guy is like chasing him. He's like supposedly from Maradonia or whatever. And they're eating apples next to this.
Yeah, for some reason.
And they go to bed. Right? It's supposed to be nighttime, but they don't shoot at night.
Yeah,
they don't shoot at night. They just shoot during the day, but dim the lighting.
Yeah, it's one of the cheapest looking things.
It actually looks terrible.
Yeah, and you know the acting of our leads just kind of sets up the rest of the tone of the film because the acting is just terrible.
Well, especially from Gloria herself. I mean, the fellow who actually acts as her brother, Joey... Now, I will say this. Bear with me on this. He is the best actor in the film. That's not saying much. That is not saying much at all. That's not saying... that's like saying... to quote... I don't know. That's like saying the shit you took today felt a little bit better coming out than the shit you took yesterday.
Yeah,
that's about as far as we go.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't know we had James Rolfe as
I'm
a guest.
James Rolfe. Yeah, James Rolfe is a guest. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I had to rip off AVGN.
What a shitload of fuck. Okay.
But again, this is not an anger podcast. Yes. We're not angry at this.
Yes,
we're just having fun.
We're chill and we're mellow.
We're just having a bit of fun here. So wizard fella or whatever,
Yeah,
who's
the
like
larper.
larper who's chasing them, finds their torch.
Yeah, or flashlight.
Flashlight, because we're not America.
Yes, sorry.
And she's like, what? These kids can create light? Are they magicians?
I'm like, no, you're just old and dumb and stupid. And it, like, sparks for some reason.
Yeah, it sparks. Oh yeah, I forgot they did that. Like, they keep adding this effect where things spark for no reason.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like everything in the movie is, like, super unstable and it's gonna spontaneously combust.
Yeah, it's like the flashlight or torch sparks.
Yeah.
There's a moment where the villain has a fireball above his head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a bit later on where he has like a fireball above his head and it's literally like moving, but it's moving delayed. Like it's like somebody's in Photoshop trying to move it with their mouse.
Yeah, it's like hey, just stay
still,
please.
Trying to move it. And then,
please, this movie has to be out yesterday.
By the way, the movie only got released in one theater.
Yeah.
In somewhere in the middle of Florida. It got released once. One showing. Somebody went in and like recorded it and then put it up on YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you to that brave soul, because otherwise this would be lost media.
Well, it's almost lost media.
Yeah,
I mean, it's tricky to find.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
not like you can just look it up on YouTube. It's unlisted.
Yeah.
It's an unlisted upload.
Yeah, so if you for some reason want to torture yourself, you'll have to do a bit of digging.
Yeah, we're not going to give you the link directly because we don't want
we don't want this movie taken down. We want it
to stay there.
Yeah, we want it preserved for future generations.
We want to preserve it. So like we're going to put it on a time capsule on Mars. So when the aliens come, the only thing they'll know about human history is this movie.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, I think that sets up the tone of humanity quite well.
Yeah, and it's like these default special effects are just they're so bad, and like I'd be more forgiving if the movie didn't have a budget of almost $1 million.
Again, I need to remind you.
Yeah,
you might think we're exaggerating at how terrible these effects are. If you do the digging and you watch it and you talk, and like there is a point where we're talking about the spark effect. It's very clear, like you know, those old AVGN videos where AVGN is like shoestring budget anyway.
Yeah.
Again, you just watch those videos and you can see that the explosion, you can tell it's added just after on top of. That's the level that we're at. We're at
2007 level YouTube video effects.
Yeah, that's what we're at. We're at that level.
Yeah. Okay, so I think after, Joey and Maya run around like a bunch of hooers. Yeah, we cut to this old age dude in...
You mean Dante?
Oh yeah,
Dante from the Devil May Cry series, except his beard is like a different colour from his wig. It's like his wig is pure white, and his beard is like this darker grey.
But yeah, this teacher, this old guy, this teacher or whatever, he looks exactly like a pensioner version of Dante from Devil May Cry, and it's so funny.
It's like he's a pensioner version of Dante, and he narrates his fucking day-to-day. Oh, I'm going to get up now, and I'm going to go and take a shower.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the audience what I'm doing.
Yeah, it'll be kind of hard to do it, though, because of these fucking birds.
Yeah, there's fucking birds that bother him.
Yeah, and they're so noisy, which, I get that
These birds are so noisy. Can the special effects guy turn it down? I can't hear the narrator over this music.
Sorry, but the audio mixer died of a fatal heart attack.
The audio mixer died of a fatal heart attack. Just like the animator in Holy Grail.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he goes into school, right? And it's this art school.
Yeah, and it turns out his name is Professor Epstein.
What?
Yes.
Is that actually his name?
Epstein? Yes, I didn't realise it the first time we watched it, but on my second rewatch, I was like, holy shit, sir, get down!
This is actually fun. Like, Mr. Epstein?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, quick, get down before you're shot. I mean, you die.
Oh
suicide.
my god. I don't think he did kill himself. I know it's a meme.
I know.
I don't think...
I know, I didn't either, but again, we're getting way off topic here.
Oh,
it's just, it was way too funny.
Yeah, and as if that wasn't offensive enough.
Yeah.
In this art class, we have a giant mural at the back of 9/11.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Giant mural of 9/11.
Yeah,
and
there's like a buff demon guy.
Yeah,
like coming out of the
smoke.
Yeah, which is kind of hot, but that's besides the point. And like the girl is just touching the muscles, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. And then it
she's touching the muscles and crying.
Yeah,
you think she's aroused, but she isn't.
Yeah, and then like pans out to like fucking show the 9/11 thing. It's like,
and then she's crying, but she's doing, secondary school theater acting level.
She's not very good at.
She's terrible at it. But you know what? Hey, fine. Maybe she got paid. No, she didn't. Nobody got paid in this movie. The fella pocketed all of it.
Yeah,
and it didn't. Like $1 million went for nothing, except for this movie.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
One showing. And now it's an unlisted upload on YouTube that you have to do a bit of digging to find. Again, I'm sorry, we're not giving you the links.
Yep.
We're not giving you the links. I'd love to give you the links, but we're not.
Yeah, you just have to find it yourself. Okay.
So
then the girl who's named Emily starts going on this whole rant, and I'm just like, Miss, this is a McDonald's. Can you please calm down?
Yeah.
I get trauma and all that, but Jesus, it's an art class.
Yeah. By the way, we're still really early in the movie. We better speed this along a little bit.
Yeah, we better. Okay.
Yeah, but okay. So mural of 9/11.
Okay.
And Dante shows up and starts explaining.
Dante Epstein. He
Epstein shows up.
He delivers a lore dump.
Yeah, a big lore dump. But this lore dump, is being spoken.
Yeah, by him.
About how there's a war in heaven.
Yeah, which sounds like the plot for Doom Eternal.
That actually does sound like it should be a Doom Eternal plot.
Yeah. And then it's all of this over-the-top nonsense, and then suddenly it cuts to...
the worst green screen effect ever of the villain.
Yeah, they couldn't even, clean out the chroma key. It's just...
It's just like when you're creating a character in Soul Calibur and you put the background in it. That's what it looks like.
It's so bad. And then later on, there's, a fucking jump scare out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, the jump scare. I forgot, the screamer of, this screamer, we're in 2008 YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's the screamer of this demon lady... who's also kind of hot, just like the demon fella. By the way, we are Satanists, legit. No, we're not Satanists.
Yeah, sorry, we're going to be sacrificing a goat later.
Yeah, we're going to be sacrificing a goat to our beloved, sexy Lucifer.
Okay, yeah. And then they talk about these two children who are supposed to be the saviors.
They call them the encouragers in the books. It's fucking weird. Okay. Because also, just briefly, there's a shot of blackface zombies.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the blackface.
Blackface zombies.
Yeah, it's obviously not blackface.
Obviously, it's not.
It's really close to it.
There's this, and then we see the stock. We get a speech from God, the King of Light, or the King of Light, or whatever, who's meant to be God, and he's talking about creating the universe, and we see footage of a 2001 asteroids.
Yeah. Okay, and then we suddenly cut to the bad guys, and the evil king who looks like if Danny DeVito and Tommy Wiseau had a weird love child.
It's Tommy Wiseau, and it's your father who's trying to be hip with the kids and is into D&D and thinks that LARPing is cool.
Yeah,
he's like that. He looks like a 47-year-old LARPer.
Yeah,
who's probably more of a loser than me.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's saying something.
Yeah, that is saying something.
I'm sorry.
That is saying something.
Okay, but the acting here is really bad. It's mid-90s anime dub levels.
Yeah, we just keep saying the acting is bad. There's no other way to describe it. I mean, unless we imitate it, without any powers or knowledge. That's what it's like. You're talking without any powers or knowledge. This guy has feathers in his hair, by the way.
Yeah,
it's one fella.
Yeah. Okay. So then after that whole debacle,
the failure to prepare is the preparation to fail. That's a line.
Yeah, that's an actual line in the movie.
That's grade A level wisdom.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see quite a few of those. And
don't worry. So then I think we cut next to...
You cut next to the kids that are supposed... They're supposed to be kids. They're clearly young adults. And they're going into school with the nursery rhyme music that I heard about.
The Kickstarter backer campaign music.
Kickstarter backer campaign.
That kind of fucking music. It just drives me insane.
Or the music that Onision uses to make people think he's not a monster in his videos, even though he is.
Yeah.
The music he puts in the background. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So then we cut to them going at school. They're the new kids,
and then they're in school, and Maya's just walking through the hallway, and Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way shows up.
Oh yeah, the goth bitch show up again.
The goth bitch, and by goth bitch, Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way.
Yeah, she trips Maya up, and Maya breaks her BlackBerry phone.
No, it looks like a Nokia or something. No, I know it's a BlackBerry, I know, but it's this movie started in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't get finished until 2016. It was in development hell for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep this in mind. Does anybody own a BlackBerry in the modern... Well, I suppose there are some people who have dumb phones because they think smartphones are the devil.
I mean,
like, smartphones do let you look at sexy pics of the devil, but that's besides the point.
Okay, calm down, mister. Okay.
I'm not going to calm down. I'm a horny bastard.
Okay, but like, Maya is supposed to be this teenager, this kid. You think she'd have the most up-to-date stuff.
Yeah, and then they start fighting.
Yeah, cat fight!
The cat fight happens, but this cat fight is scored by the music from Lord of the Rings again. Like, this, you don't know what...
It's completely unfitting.
It's completely unfitting. It's like it even gets to, like, full-on choir is used in this. No, you use a choir whenever dragons are burning cities or some shit. You don't use a choir...
for two
girls just having a cat fight that looks faker than WWE.
Yeah. Wait, wrestling's fake?
Yeah, it's fake, dude.
Jesus.
Mostly fake.
Okay, right. Okay, and of course the audio mixing is terrible yet again.
Yeah, again, the audio mixing is terrible, and they're all just like fight. All the other kids are younger. What happens then?
Yeah.
Cut to the next day.
Suddenly there's
this time skip to the next day. And I think the movie does tell you that it's like a time skip to the next day.
It's like, it's so jarring and out of place. Again, the movie's pace is like it's on speed.
Pace. Yeah, I don't fucking know. But they go to a party, and it's meant to be like this birthday party or whatever.
Yeah, they somehow got invited, despite Maya supposedly being unpopular or some shit.
Maya's like supposed to be like this, but no, she is popular now because Joey says like, "Oh, that fight made you really popular because you beat up the bully."
I forgot about that dialogue.
You beat up the bully. The fight makes you really popular. So they go into the party, and when they go in, all the other kids are like 10 years younger than them.
It's like it's so creepy.
It is fucking creepy as shit. Like, one of the kids looks at Maya and goes, "Oh, she's got it. What? Killer instinct, bro." It would have been less realistic if this just turned into an advert for Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I mean, I love Killer Instinct, but that's besides the point. And this bouncer who's pretty skeevy looking, he
sees a bird. He's like, "Oh, look at a bird. It's just a fucking bird." But it's like a stock effect that looks like it was from Birdemic. Yeah. Like, it genuinely looks like a Birdemic special effect.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was afraid of the bird.
Bear in mind, Birdemic has like 1/100th the budget of this.
Okay. So then one of my favourite parts of the movie comes on. You know the pool scene, right?
Oh yeah, the pool scene.
Yeah, so Maya is just, doing something, staring at the sun, I don't know. And then suddenly she gets pushed into the pool, and the movie acts like it's this big dramatic, dangerous thing.
I think in the book she gets, like, she hits her head off something. But, like, in the movie she just falls in the pool.
Yeah, and it looks like she just fucking dies, which kills me with laughter every time.
The best bit about it is, again, the music. There's, like, this singing mermaids, but in the background there's, like, this chill pop song or something. Yeah,
it's like, this is not the music you play when someone is drowning.
There's two songs. There's the singing mermaid, which is part of the lore, if there is any lore.
Yeah.
And then there's this pop song playing in the background. They're both in two different keys, so it's really fucking jarring.
Yeah, I had hoped the dumb bitch Maya died, because then that would mean the movie would be over. But sadly, she's revived.
She's revived. She's revived because what happens is the bouncer, after being chased by 7 pigeons...
Yeah, fucking pussy.
Runs in, jumps into the pool, which is like waist height, by the way.
Yeah, it's not a deep pool.
Saves her.
And apparently in the book, like, her head is bleeding or something.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I know, sorry. But it's like, there's barely anything wrong. And
there's no injury at all. There's not even any ketchup on her, so they didn't even go that.
Yeah, the dude is just like calling the ambulance, like, "Quick, you gotta get here." And it's like, get an ambulance. And it's like, nothing's wrong with her.
And Maya herself, she's like, "Nah, there's nothing wrong with me. I want to go home."
Yeah, and then...
I'm just wearing my dress, that's all.
Yeah, and then again, we do another sudden cut to, like, Maya and Joey... walking
down the street, and then they're told not to go to the Pebbles Beach or some shit.
But before that, there's also a scene where Maya says, "No, not everybody lies," and it's like, that's the biggest lie of them all.
That's the biggest lie of them all.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. I can understand Maya being kind of pissed off at having the dress ruined or whatever, but she's acting like he fucking killed someone.
It's not even really ruined because, like,
Yeah, it's
you
just
just wash it out.
Yeah, it's just a bit wet.
Just a bit wet. I mean, some people are into that.
You're lucky I was drinking during that. Otherwise I would have told you off.
Yeah, you would have told me off.
Okay.
But, at this point...
So then they cut to, like, this old guy on a bike, old man Herbert, this on his bike of wisdom that leads two children off to their early demise, hopefully.
Well, it doesn't actually lead them off to their early demise. What happens, of course, is they go to the Pebbles Beach.
Yeah. Okay, and then suddenly, so then on the beach there's a random scene of fan service.
Where the author. Now, to be fair, Gloria Tesh is a model.
Yeah. Okay.
So she does do modeling.
Okay, so that was just probably, a self-centered thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like she just strips down to a bikini, which is fine because she's overage. She's overage.
Yeah, but
she's actually of age.
But, like, then you remember...
The character is supposed to be 14 or some shit.
Yeah, and it makes you feel weird, and there's also stock footage of a fucking whale shark.
Yeah, you think the shark is going to go and eat her, which would be a better movie,
yeah,
but no.
The whale shark is fucking huge, as implied by the name. But the whole scene lasts less than a minute, and I'm just...
She goes out in the water, and she's like, where did Joey go? Like, it's a fucking pantomime, and then she turned around, and the character just walked away.
It makes me question what the whole point of the scene was.
Yeah, but then she goes and follows her. At one point, during this, like, the music is, like, over the top. It's swelling dramatic. Which, if I was composing for this, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because I do composing every now and then. But the music, it genuinely sounds like the music's trying to drown out how bad the film is.
Yeah, probably.
And one random shot of the sky randomly turns pink, like it's a planet in No Man's Sky or some shit.
Yeah, it's like the crazy bitch is having a psychotic episode.
This planet contains a yellow sky and red water and purple grass. That's the kind of planet you're on right now. And aggressive sentinels.
Yeah, it sounds kind of neat.
Yeah. And she goes to the cave.
Yeah, and it seems like Joey and Maya patch things up real quick after that whole thing.
Yeah, but the you just see the two LARPers in the background.
Yeah, who look like they belong in Naruto.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, let's come back tomorrow.
Oh no, the Naruto cosplayers don't show up yet. That was just someone else.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, you're getting mixed up. Like the Naruto cosplayers who come up later.
Yeah, later. This movie becomes a whole lot more fun if you imagine that Joey and Maya are having mental breakdowns.
No, this movie's it does become a lot more fun, but they're having a shared delusion.
Yeah, and it's like, I kind of feel like that when I'm watching the movie, because it's
like
just...
people who believe in astrology.
Nice one. No, but like the movie's pace is just, it's all over the place. Because then there's another jump cut to like the next day.
Next day again. We're not going over the same scene. This is actually how the movie is cut.
Yeah, because they're at home packing shit.
They're packing shit for like going back. So they actually were gonna go to the cave, but they went home to go again. So what's the point of the first scene? Just go when you first arrive.
Yeah, like Jesus. Okay.
My favorite line here is that Maya mentions that I'm not going. It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Fucking... Oh my god.
I burst out laughing.
I did too.
It's like, are you shitting me right now? That's not in the book, by the way.
Yeah.
That was added into the movie.
Yeah, and, to bring the whole thing full circle, Joey brings a fucking machete with him.
Yeah, he brings a machete.
It's like, where did he get that?
His supplies include a machete and apples.
And a slingshot as well, like he's fucking Dennis the Menace.
No, it's not slingshot. The slingshot is terrible. You want to have a baseball bat because slingshots miss 3/16 of the time.
Yeah.
So you want to have a baseball bat. That's a better investment. Nobody uses slingshots in Earthbound.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just bad. So then the Naruto fans, they actually do show up here.
Yeah, the cosplayers show up.
And like the music is playing, and then the Naruto fan literally touches the rock. Was the rock playing the music? Because the music immediately stops the moment the rock is touched. Like it's literally frame for frame.
Yeah, this is very weird. Okay, so then they say, "Wow, what a beautiful cave!" And it's like, "Bitch, I've seen nicer caves in Fallout."
Yeah, I've seen nicer caves in, like, alpha Minecraft, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Like, alpha Minecraft.
Yeah, and they say stuff about, oh, this cave is so creepy, but it's brightly lit.
Really brightly lit, which I guess is a good thing, because we don't want a repeat of Season 8, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones, where it was way too fucking dark. It's meant to be like the big climactic showdown with the Night King, and you can't see shit.
Yeah, and the audio mixing, again, is awful. Especially because it's, like, crackly now.
I think, it's like it starts crackling, and then the Naruto fans are following them, and they start speaking in Wookiee.
Yeah, or
It's
Ewok. It's weird.
Ewok, yeah, they start speaking like something like that, and there's subtitles.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of having? Like, this is not a proper fantasy language.
Yeah.
This isn't like
It's gibberish.
Elvish. It's
Yeah.
just.
And then suddenly the cave starts shaking, and it's like, oh, we're scared.
And then dust is overlaid
Yeah.
on. Again, 2007 YouTube.
Yeah, and it's like,
fucking
oh no, the dust is mildly annoying. Ugh.
Dust, it gets in your eyes. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And then they go into the quote-unquote fantasy world,
Yeah.
which looks identical to the real world.
Yeah. And
It's the same biome.
Yeah, there's a part where one of the leads says, "Hey, our watch has stopped," and I'm just like, maybe the watch has died.
Yeah, they both stopped at the exact same time. Now, this is supposed to be like how, time slows down in Maradonia. Just, it's not a rip-off of... You see, it's not a rip-off of Chronicles of Narnia, because it does the same thing. It's so dumb. Chronicles of Narnia does the same thing.
Yeah, Gloria, is there anything you'd like to tell us?
Like, here's the thing. I don't like claiming, this is a rip-off of Lord of the Rings. I would never claim A Song of Ice and Fire is a rip-off of Lord of the Rings. It's clearly inspired by it quite heavily.
But it does its own thing.
But it does its own thing. In this, it's not just that it's ripped off of... Again, listen to the Terrible Book Club episodes about the books.
It's well worth a listen.
It's well worth a listen, and it's not just that it's ripped off of Chronicles of Narnia. It's a rip-off of everything, including the Bible, and like Norse mythology are thrown in, all different mythologies are thrown in, Christian beliefs are thrown in. For again, King of Light is clearly God.
It's so weird.
So we encounter the dwarf man.
Oh, the dwarf.
The grasshopper dwarf.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
like he's a grasshopper who can transform from a grasshopper into a dwarf. But because they didn't have the budget, apparently, to CGI a grasshopper, even though this was a 1 million...
Yeah, or even get like a fucking figure of a grasshopper.
Yeah, or even something like that. It's so cheaply done.
Yeah.
You know, with $1 million, you could have made an okay-ish animated version of this. Just outsource it to China.
Yeah, they do everything.
That's the opposite of freedom, you know.
Okay, and like during this scene, I would say it's mildly interesting, except that they filmed it during a really windy day.
Yeah, so you can barely hear what's going on.
Yeah, like come on, that's fucking...
Apparently there's a brothel there because he says there are some places in Maradonia that are pleasing to the senses.
I forgot about that part.
There's some parts that are pleasing to the senses. Do they involve sexy demon ladies and Lucifer's bulging muscles?
Okay, so
Again, we're being so blasphemous right now. It's a good thing Ireland doesn't have a blasphemy law anymore. That got removed like 2 years ago.
That's very good.
Thank fuck.
That's very good. Okay, so then anyway, the crew continue their merry thing, and then suddenly, there's a bunch of goths watching them again, and then they meet a snake.
Yeah, like they meet the snake lady,
and then
Arabella. Except it's Gloria's mother, who's got the weirdest fucking accent. I don't know what the accent is.
Yeah, it's like the snake turns into an old skank, and she's doing all these weird motions with her arms.
She's like, I can't even describe her in any way other than the fact that in the book it is actually a snake.
Yeah,
she is actually supposed to be a snake in the book.
Yeah.
But they can't afford that, so it's just Snake Lady. It would have made more sense if you had like some decent enough prosthetics, and like instead of having her holding a snake, maybe she's just a lizard woman or some shit. Maybe she's a Silurian from Doctor Who, the sexy Silurian.
We're doing a lot of pop culture references on this podcast.
Oh dear, yeah, that's going to be a problem. What if people don't get? What if people don't know what Doctor Who is? Oh
gosh.
Dude.
All right, okay, and then. At this point, I'm just absolutely losing it. I don't know what's going on. And the fucking snake woman walks in the funniest way possible.
Yeah, she walks, and again, there's random sparks that just show up. And so then we start hearing this royalty-free bird sound effect. it's the exact same sound effect over and over again, and the snake lady goes, "Oh no, it's them doves from earlier in the movie.
What?
They that's a bad thing."
What doves?
The doves, but they look like fucking pigeons.
Yeah.
I kept thinking they were pigeons. They're supposed to be doves.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be doves, but they just. It's like, oh no, something. Whenever these doves show up, there's always something going on in the plot of this movie, and it always results in something good happening to the heroes and something bad happening to the villains. And I'm the villain.
So they're Deus Ex Machinas then.
Yeah, they are fucking Deus Ex Machinas.
Okay.
Like, and then Libertine shows up, who's supposed to be the dove, again, played by a real actress. It's like, they could have just had, like, a dove and, like, have some voice or some shit, but no, Libertine, the dove, shows up.
Yeah, and for some reason she gives off this weird magenta haze.
Yeah, she has this magenta vibe. She, again, I can't really describe how she looks other than...
It's just
Florida mom. That's the way I describe it. She looks like Florida mom.
That's perfect, actually.
She looks like a Florida mom. That's what she looks like.
Yeah, and it's just like, again, the movie goes through a breakneck pace, barely,
Like, again, it sounds like we're just skimming through the scenes.
This
is how the movie is played. If we were to explain everything, this podcast would be twice as long as the fucking movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you can't really complain that the pace is short, that the pace is slow. You can't really complain about that.
But the movie just moves through everything so fast. It barely gives any of these characters.
If you're confused, don't worry. We are too.
Yeah, we're trying our best. Trust me.
We're trying our best to
Trust
explain.
us.
Apparently, the snake woman is evil because obviously anything that involves a snake is evil.
Yeah. Okay, so then...
Oh, yes. Oh, I just saw that note that you had a bit later on.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a bit from a later scene.
Yeah.
But it's very near.
Yeah.
The Libertine, the dove, tells Maya and Joey not to be tricked by the snake woman who wants them to have money.
Yeah.
Because as we can tell, money is evil. # communism.
All right, calm down there, mister.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah. All right, so then
again, it's something like just to try and keep you up to speed. If you want to watch this in your own time, bear in mind the snake lady is trying to convince them to go meet King Apollyon, who's the 57-year-old LARPer, like middle-aged man who's trying to be hip with the kids and thinks LARPing is cool.
It's not.
It's not cool.
Sorry to
it's
break
for
it to you.
It's for skanks, okay? I don't even. Yeah.
Okay, so then after that whole
We encounter another LARPer in the form of Barry B. Benson, the wizard.
Oh god, yeah. Is this the scene with the two evil twins or whatever?
They show up a bit. Yeah, they show up right immediately.
Yeah, and they say, "We have come in peas." I'm like, ew. That's gross.
I didn't write that exactly. I wrote, "We have come in piss," which is even worse.
I know.
You thought they came in peas.
I know. I just thought that sounded funnier.
Like they ejaculated into like a peas.
Like that's fucking disgusting.
Like whatever you're into. Again, these are the two fairies or some shit, and they talk. We see how you've handled Arabella, the snake woman, and now we're going.
She had a name.
Yeah, Arabella, the snake woman.
That's weird.
She had a fucking name.
And in this scene again, they're these characters are all supposed to be in the same place, but it really doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it feels like it's just cut together.
Yeah, because like one scene is like during the day, or whatever, but then like another one is like it's the screen is darkened and you never see the characters on screen.
Yeah, they never see them on screen at the same time, except there's one character who. One of the fairies that shows up at this point, they're supposed to be fairies. They just look like Halloween costumes that like that the local parents dress up on to try and scare the kids. I don't know. Yeah. They're just dressed up like that with unusual accents and whatever. And one of the girls is dressed up at these. Supposedly they're like evil fairies. Evil fairies. Maybe they're like the Fae. I don't know. She goes over to Maya. This is another example of where we get teased at Maya potentially dying, but not dying.
Yeah, sadly.
Where she sniffs the poison, and a giant skull, another screamer.
Yeah.
Except this time it's a skull.
Spooky skull, woo!
Woo! Don't you know skulls are scary?
Yeah.
They represent death.
Wow.
And then she collapses on the floor, but she's not dead. She's just asleep. Oh, my favorite line. They get pissed off, and so they go, "Taste our powers." They don't say it once. They say it 5 times, louder each time and higher pitch.
Yeah,
By the end, it's like, "Taste our powers." By the way, I was speaking so loudly, so high pitched there that it actually went into ultrasound. That's what happened.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The dogs would bark. Like, dogs would just be really. It's a dog whistle. It's a new dog whistle. Taste our powers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful how there's no attempt to match the lighting between scenes.
Like, there's no attempt whatsoever in terms of trying to match anything.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't care.
So,
Oh yeah, and I forgot about the fake fire as well.
oh yeah, the fake fire, because they can't. The taste our powers. That whole point is that they're creating fake fire.
You know, a firewall.
Why don't you explain how poorly done the fire effect is?
Again, it's basic as shit. It's it's just plopped right there, and I think it's cut off a bit as well. So you can see where they cut it off. It's just oh my god,
they cut it off. It is just, and they're walking through it, but the cuts are behind. It is just awful.
Yeah, this movie keeps getting worse and worse. I don't know how. And despite it being quite short, it feels like a fucking eternity.
It is very short. It's a short film, but it actually does feel a lot longer. I remember watching this, constantly checking my watch. Well, that's repetition. Yeah. So we go to a tribe.
Oh yeah, where they don't let in the white man.
Yeah, the white people aren't let in. Except for this
fair
one
enough.
blonde chick who's who's clearly meant, again, more fan servicey.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just
it's weird. And also the tribe decides to nominate the woman they just met to be commander.
Yeah, it's like, you know how in Skyrim, when you do like the quest for the guilds, you become the leader by the end?
You know, you gain
imagine you go to the fucking companions, and the moment you walk in there by going through the Cloud District, which I do go to very often, Nazim, the moment you go there, the companions are just like, "Oh, you're leader now." That's the equivalent. So you don't even do the quest line. It's like cheating and not even do. They didn't even do the quest line.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
And then we have like Commander in the book. It's Commander Justin, but they didn't get an actor, so they got an actress. So they changed her name to Justine.
Right.
But sometimes she's referred to as Justin, which is really fucking confusing.
Yeah.
It's like clearly it's just not thought out very well.
Yeah. Okay, and there's a shot of like these kids being lectured or some shit, and they look so bored.
Ugh. We know that we have discovered that great problems happen every day.
Well, no shit. Okay, and then
as if it wasn't, as if the failure to preparation to fail is not the wisest of all wisdom truths ever.
I think at one point Joey says, "Wow, look how excited everyone is." Well, fuck.
And they're just bored as fuck.
Yeah, well, fuck my ass and call me a bitch. This movie's making its jokes for me.
I swear to God. So Justine gets really pissed at the fact that she's no longer commander, understandably so, because these kids just show up and now they're commanders. Yeah. It's like, they didn't do the quest line.
Yeah.
And I didn't die.
Yeah.
Yes.
The white man stealing roles of coloured people yet again.
Yeah, by the way, she is black, by the way. She is black. And they're called the Black Tribe, just in case you didn't figure out.
Jesus,
you almost
made me spit up my soda.
They're called the Black Tribe. That's actually what they're called.
I forgot about that. Oh,
I mean, imagine if it was the tribe of Irish people and it was just called the White Tribe. That's the equivalent in terms of racism.
What about you would have went with the Potato Tribe.
Oh yeah, the Potato Tribe.
Or the Starving Tribe.
The Potato Famine, yeah. So what happens here is the commander gets really pissed and tries to poison Maya and Joey. Again, this is just a bunch of random things. It's just not like there's no plot here. Just a bunch of random things that happen.
You know, a bunch of bullshit.
Just a bunch of random things that happen, and apparently none of them hang around. This comes over. She tries to poison them, but Joey finds out through a Deus Ex Machina that it is poison. And then he's like, no, you eat it. It's like, no, I'm not going to eat it.
No, I don't.
Fine.
I don't like it.
And she doesn't eat the poison yet. I'm not foreshadowing. I'm basically spoiling it.
Yeah.
She does actually kill herself.
Poor bitch.
Yeah. She looks very similar to someone I know in real life as well, which is kind of weird. Because I kept thinking, like, oh shit, is that the girl I know in real life? Which is fucking weird. Right. But, so she goes and she's like, I'm pissed at these two commanders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this ritual. I'm going to bring my dad back from the dead. And during this ritual, a number of things happen, including thunderstorms, lightning, very, very frightening. Mm-hmm. And PK Starstorm apparently is part of this spell. Because we see a bunch of meteors start landing. And so she summons her dead dad, who comes out of the ground with like his hand sticking out, and goes and basically just says to her,
so,
hi, just, you're not commander anymore, they're commander. I'm siding with Maya and Joey instead of my daughter.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you, bitch.
And she gets really fucking pissed.
Yeah, doesn't he turn into a fruit or something?
No, I don't think he turns into a fruit. What happens is, he gets someone back, he goes back into the underworld, or wherever the fuck he is.
Oh.
And then Commander Justine kills herself.
Okay, I could have sworn someone turned into a fruit.
I don't know if that happens or not, or if that just happened in one of your nightmares about the movie.
Honestly, it might be in a nightmare.
It might have just been in that.
Okay, so by this point, I'm just completely lost, and I don't care.
Yeah, we're all lost. Like, you're listening to this going, these guys are talking about a movie. It sounds like they're just making this shit up. This can't be real. It's real.
Yeah, and like the acting somehow annoys me even more.
It's like, it is actually real. Like, it is genuinely real. So then these 3 fairies show up again, or these are different fairies, all 3 of which have different powers, and they go try and kidnap Maya and Joey.
Yep.
And they're gonna like sacrifice Maya and Joey or some shit because something they're important. I don't know.
And Gloria's acting during being in danger or whatever. She just acts so casually. It bugs.
Oh my god! What do you want?
Yeah.
No, that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah. It bugs the crap out of me. Like, I know this is a mellow podcast.
This is not meant to be super angry. You're the angry side. I'm the laugh at this side.
Pretty much.
You're the one you will be way more angry at shit than me.
Yeah, I'm trying, to not get too angry.
So don't get too angry.
It's the first podcast.
It's the first episode. The Black Tribe, well, no, they're not the Black Tribe, but one of the women, who, by the way, is described in the book as, quote, the most beautiful black woman.
Oh.
She apparently has the ability to burn people to flames. But they forgot to put in the special effect of the fire. So she goes and she does the breath. And clearly there's meant to be an effect, but they didn't put it in. It's like, it goes from the effects being really shitty to there not being effects.
Yeah.
It's like watching Avengers Endgame, but without the CGI.
No,
it's like that footage where it's like no CGI, they're just in mocap suits. Like Iron Man's just in a mocap suit.
I would pay good money to see that.
Like, that would actually be a way more enjoyable film to watch, because you'd see how it's actually made.
So they attempt to burn these 2 assholes alive, when suddenly these MCU rejects show up out of nowhere.
Well, actually, yeah, these MCU rejects. Again, all of the supposed, like, fantasy actors, they look like middle-aged men who are LARPing. I know we keep bringing up LARPing.
But it's just, they look so bad. I remember I wrote a note earlier saying I almost feel bad for the costume designers, but I don't.
No, I don't feel bad for pretty much anyone in... Well, actually, no, I do. I do feel bad for some of the people in this movie who didn't get paid.
Yeah.
That's it. Because as far as I can tell, the only reason you'd want to be involved in this movie is for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're going to get anything else.
Yeah, okay. And then there's fight scenes, which
just before that, the 2 of them are being burnt alive. They get burnt alive. But the Deus Ex Machina that saves them, this random guy gets teleported in.
Yeah, that's what I meant by...
That's like, he gets teleported in. So they're being burnt alive. They've actually been burnt alive, even though they don't have a single burn on them, apparently.
Yeah.
And then the guy, he just gets lightning in. Like they just cast...
Yeah, Thor.
Yeah, Thor. The only way I can describe it is, it's as though... It's what other characters see when you fast travel. Yeah. That's what it is.
Pretty much. Yeah.
They just teleport. It's like...
Yeah, and these other MCU rejects show up with Thor, and it's just like...
Yeah, the other, like, all these rejects of, like, terrible cosplayers show up, and there's, like, this fight scene with force push for some reason.
Yeah, it's just, there's absolutely no special effects, and whenever a weapon is, like, hitting against another weapon, they just reuse the same slashing
It's the same clink. There's no, like, that's why we have Foley. That's why there's Foley artists. There's no Foley artists. It's just stock sound effects.
It's probably my favorite part of the movie because it's just how dumb it is, and that made me laugh really hard.
It looks like a movie that you made with a bunch of kids, like a bunch of, well, not kids, but college kids. That not even for an assignment or anything.
It's like,
you're just a bunch of nerds who play D&D and want to LARP. And secretly want to LARP, and then for some reason decide to record your LARPing.
It reminds me of the Kingdom Hearts in real life thing. Dual wield. Sorry,
we keep making references. What if people don't get our references, dude?
I don't know.
What if people don't get our references?
Sorry,
people won't be laughing.
I'll stop it. Okay.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
We'll make references because we'll have to.
Okay, so then I think they cut to the castle.
Well, actually, before then, after the fight scene ends, which again, at one point in the fight scene, the music literally just starts singing Maradonia, Maradonia. It actually
dumb.
just.
It's like, is that the moment we're all supposed to get out of our seats and clap?
And everybody clapped.
I clapped when I heard it.
It's like the people who are applauding at the end of those Transformers movies, and like the critics get really pissed. It's like, people like things I don't like.
We really do live in a society.
We live in a society where Michael Bay makes money, whereas this movie, this work of art, is a complete failure and catastrophe. Nah. But the Deus Ex Machina. After that, I think one of the lines that Maya says is, I'm still paralyzed from this death experience, because they actually died, so it's not a near-death experience.
Wait, did they die?
But then they came back. They got resurrected.
Oh, so they're only mostly dead.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to represent like a Jesus Christ crucifixion thing.
It makes me think, is this movie secretly a thinly veiled advert for the Bible?
Yeah, well, as if that's not enough, we then get footage of hell, but it's the most unconvincing hell you'll ever hear.
There's like a crowd of people going like, whoa, doing the whole moaning and groaning shit.
But they're supposed to be moaning and groaning, they just sound like they're in a terrible porno.
Yeah.
It's like, the suffering never ends.
Yeah. Yeah, if it weren't for moments like this, I would call Maradonia such a nothing movie.
Yeah, that's my last note, by the way. Like, the rest of the movie, I just like, I don't even need to say anything else. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The movie ends.
Yeah, the movie ends on a cliffhanger.
Well, it ends on a cliffhanger, as if it wasn't bad enough that it said part 1 at the beginning, like they're so convinced it was going to succeed. It ends on a cliffhanger, and then it says, Maradonia will continue in Maradonia and the escape from the underworld.
Yeah. The only other things left to bring up that I have in my notes is that I think a dude ate a snake.
Well, actually, yeah, but this final scene, which has one guy in it who looks like he does heavy metal covers for YouTube. And it's the scene from the underworld. Now, I mentioned, this is the scene where we see that stupid effect. Where,
with the fireball.
Where, King Apollyon gets so pissed off that he's, like, you know how in The Sims, when somebody gets angry, like, you see it above their head?
Yeah.
It's like that, but with a fireball that's having a hard time tracking it.
Yeah.
It's like that streamer who was playing Heavy Rain and actually got to the sex scene and didn't want to get banned off Twitch because he didn't want to see, because, like, the nipples. So he kept trying to hide it with his face cam. That's what it is. That's what it's like. It's like the people that are trying to hide.
That sounds incredible.
And they're trying to move the fireball along with his head, and it's just so jagged. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so the movie ends with a cliffhanger to be continued, and then the torture is over.
Well, it's not really torture for me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was torture for me, because it felt like a fucking eternity.
Yeah, you're the darkness, I'm the light.
Yeah.
That's how it works on this podcast. You're the angry man, and I'm the guy who just gets...
Well, I'm the slightly angry man.
He's the slightly angry man who isn't that angry, because this is not a super angry podcast.
I'm not going to be doing a Doug Walker here.
Well, yeah, it's like...
Anyway.
Whatever. Enough about him.
Oh, yes. So, Maradonia. That was something of a movie, wasn't it?
What a fucking film. It's certainly something that exists.
Oh, it is. It's weird as all hell, but I'm glad it does exist in a weird way because it's good for riffing material. If you want to just get like a couple friends over, have some drinks, like take a shot anytime a terrible special effect shows up.
You'll be drunk in no time.